On to the reserves now. I picked 7 reserves, but I'm aware that I think it may be 6. Let's start off with the guards. I'm going to name one guard I have in my reserves. Then you name yours, and you name yours, and you name yours. So we're each going to go with one reserve each until we finish ours. I think this one has to be Trae Young. Trae Young's the first guy that gets into the All-Star game from a reserve spot, averaging 27 and 9, shooting 45% from the field and 37% from 3. The Hawks aren't winning, but they've had a lot of injuries. Trae Young has been that one consistent, and he's the first guy off the reserves list for me.
For me, since Trae and Demar started, the first guy off for me is Zach. Something in that USA team put a switch in his head. He's been better defensively. He's been better as a playmaker. The efficiency's been there since last year, so we knew that wasn't going to really change. And he's just been a different type of player for them this year, being a better leader and has more control of the game. So for me, the first guy is Zach.
100% mine's Trae Young. Trae Young just misses the starting list for me just because I think James Harden has the fans and Zach LaVine's having a great season, a more winning, successful season than what Trae Young's having. But again, that's not Trae Young's fault. He's dealt with the team has dealt with a lot of injuries to the defense specifically. Now, he's been spectacular, averaging over 27 points a game. His playmaking has been what's been amazing to pair with this scoring as well, averaging almost 10 assists a game on top of almost 30 points. I understand it's 27, but 27 is a high number given the fact he's still facilitating at this high of a clip. His effective field goal percentage, look, you guys put me onto this stat, and it's fair. Shooting over 51% effective field goal percentage. Trae Young's been spectacular for the Hawks, and I do expect them once they get healthy to start climbing up in that in the standing, and it's inevitable. However, as of right now, the only reason I don't have him as a starter is because they haven't been winning.
I mean, it's obviously James Harden for me. I had Demar on there, but like his name, he's going to very easily. I mean, I think he has a great shot at being a starter. But then this year he's averaging 22 points, nearly a triple-double. His playmaking's been awesome, and he's working with Nicholas Claxton and Bruce Brown, like a guard in Detroit. So it's very, people are going to obviously beginning of the year, they're talking about him not getting the foul line. Now he's getting to the foul line over 10 times a game. Not the full season, but more recently. And then he's playmaking so much. He's been awesome for this Brooklyn team. Not awesome in the sense overall, but he's doing his thing in terms of the playmaking. He's been scoring better recently. I think it's only a matter of time before he really turns it on. And then with the fans, the beard, your man, he's going to make it. Yeah.
My next player is James Harden.
Did you tell him that you're going to the game?
Oh, I didn't actually.
Facts.
Yeah, this Monday I'm going to go to the Grizzlies versus Nets game. I'm sitting baseline.
That is so tough.
So basically, my feet are going to be touching the court. I'm going to get there early. I hope I meet James Harden. I'm going to wear my beard. I'm going to wear the Pick a Side merch. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna represent Pick a Side out there.
That's something else we got to mention.
And I'm going to try to, I think I'm going to be right by where the Nets are warming up. So I'm going to try to get one of these Nets players, maybe Patty Mills. Yo, what's good, Patty Mills? Come over here.
Even L.A., man.
Yeah, L.A. Be like, yo, what's up? Say Pick a Side for me right here real quick. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to be going. I have James Harden here. He started out off the season really rough, and that's why he's not going to start in the All-Star game. But as of recently, he's been on a complete tear. Back when we talked about Harden, if we're worried about him, I said that, look, he's going to be himself by Christmas. And he is himself by Christmas, and now he's going to start going on a tear, and he's going to finish off with numbers similar to what we've been seeing these last couple of years. But, man, if there's one thing I got to say about James Harden, man, he gets guys paid. Nicholas Claxton is next in line. He's going to get a big payday because of James Harden. Claxton is very similar to Capella. Capella was a late first round pick, and it took him a couple years to get situated. Once he did, Harden got him paid with all these lobs. I think Claxton
Capella isn't a bum. Next up. I'm not saying Claxton isn't.
He's not a bum though.
I'm not saying Claxton's a bum. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's not.
You said get guys paid and name the one guy.
Yeah.
PJ Tucker got paid.
Oh, not because of James Harden.
I was going to say PJ Tucker left and went to Milwaukee and was basically the same role. He had the same role that he had in Houston.
Got paid because of James Harden?
Absolutely.
In fairness, he's always talking about Eric Gordon, those guys as well in Houston.
Eric Gordon
got paid before Houston.
Well, I mean, he also got paid $22 million right before they traded James Harden as well. True. So that was a fat bag, a little bit too much, but I mean, it is what it is.
He does get people paid. Now, your next reserve, Riv.
James Harden. He wasn't in my starters. I took him out, put Demar in, but James Harden will make the All-Star game.
Without a
He's
doubt.
having a season that's better than most All-Stars' best seasons, averaging the double-double. Like you said, the playmaking has been there. That's been there all year. He's getting his guys open. He's putting guys in position to score. Obviously, the efficiency is something you want to see improve, but these last couple games, you see he's starting to get it going. He's getting back to the free throw line. So for me, James Harden to not make an All-Star game is just dumb. He's been an All-Star type of player this year. He's still one of the top 10, top 15 best players in the league. So I got James Harden in my All-Star game.
Somebody just asked, I wonder how Joel is feeling about Kirk on the COVID list. I feel like the Viking season is over. That's how I'm feeling like.
Yo, Muffins just went crazy on you.
What'd he say?
He said, who has worst hair, Riv or KD? Oh. Yo, I almost spit up my water.
Muffins is bald.
Yeah.
The nerve of Muffins.
Such a good response, man.
The nerve of Muffins.
Yo, honest to God. Yo, perfect response. All right. My next reserve is going to be Demar Derozan. There's a strong case for him to be a starter, averaging almost 27 points this season, 4.5 assists, 5 rebounds. But again, what's been amazing for me is to see his percentages be increased from his career averages. Averaging 50.4, his career is 46. Averaging 36.5 from three, his career average is 28. And he's not a three-point shooter, so to see him just taking him a little bit more is great to see. His effective field percentage is 52. He's been spectacular. The Bulls are playing winning basketball. Suddenly, he comes over to the Bulls. I'm not saying that he's the only reason why the Bulls are having success, but he's a huge part of the reason why they're having success. And it's a no-brainer. He will be an all-star.
We're talking front court or just guards or like the reserves?
Guards right now.
Okay, so people are going to like this. I want to put Darius Garland ahead of Zach Levine.
Whoa.
I want to, but I'm not going to because it wins.
But you want to.
I want to very badly.
Explain why
I'm
you
a big
want to.
Darius Garland guy.
Over
Without
Levine,
him,
though,
I'm not going to.
No, you can't do that.
I want to very badly.
Listen, I'm a big Garland fan too, but what are you saying? Like,
Without him, Cleveland's offense is like non-existent. You know how reliant they are? Like when he comes back, no Ricky Rubio, no Colin Sexton, Rajon Rondo, it's going to be, I think he's going to go on a tear. I'm like looking a little bit in the future here because I think he's going to have a high usage rate with no Ricky Rubio. That's another reason why. And they're also 2015. The record's starting to drop a little bit more with no Rubio now. I'm going to go with Zach Levine, though. But I actually really did think about this one. And Zach Levine, his team's one of the best in the Eastern Conference. He's been great this year. But yeah, I was very close to Garland, but Zach Levine's been doing his thing.
You're saying what you think could happen down the line is why you put Garland
in a way,
over.
but Garland is so valuable to that Cleveland team. And then defensively, he's been fine for them as well with their front court. Allen is Jared Allen. With him in the pick and roll, I mean, it's so similar to Trae Young and Clint Capella. It's awesome to watch. And the fact he's just in his third year, he's shooting 52% from mid-range, well from three, the pick and roll play. He's been just awesome this year for that Cavaliers team.
I think you're doing that because you like Garland, not because he actually has a better season than Levine.
When Ricky Rubio's out, though, he's going to have a high usage rate when he comes back from protocol, man.
I agree with that statement because we saw Sexton go out and we saw Garland's play and his amount of touches increase. So I agree with that. That being said, the conversation between Levine, that's where I struggle. I can't.
It's close.
Levine,
It's not.
It's going to be.
It's like maybe end of the season, like you could say, like maybe.
Levine is a potential all-star starter.
Levine's, and
there's
again,
the first hot take of the show.
That is
my first hot take.
Yeah, there you go.
That's because of his value. Like DeMar DeRozan this year has been that guy for the Bulls. With Darius Garland offensively, the Cavs are awful without him. Horrible. He's so valuable to that team. He's more valuable to the Cavs than Zach Levine is to the Bulls.
But the Bulls fans just said you cannot come back. So
I'll tell you what.
I think it's gonna be close.
The only reason why I struggle with that is again the efficiency. He's arguably one of the most, if not top three, most efficient players in the NBA. 50%, over 40% from three. His free throw shooting is almost at 85%. He's averaging almost 27 points a game. Garland's having a fantastic season. It's a great breakout season for him. But he's not playing on the level as Levine right now.
But what he's saying is...
No, I understand for sure that it'll get there.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Do we think Garland's going from, what is he at right now? 18 points per game, 19
20
points?
20 and 7.
Do we think it'll get to 26?
No.
Nah, maybe I'll see like maybe 21, 22.
And do we think he's going to be
by the end
a
of the
50,
year,
40, 85 type player?
He can be.
He can dance around that.
Yeah, he's efficient as hell now.
Definitely.
It's going to be tough, but I understand the sentiment. I just don't.
He is in
the
line.
Player is tough.
He is in line for some big
I feel like he's a
games
year
coming up.
away.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Fair.
No,
I'm saying
Garland has such a high ceiling, and that is unarguable.
He's going to have some big games. He's going to have
Just
some huge
to
games.
Levine is... That's where I
think he's
struggle.
really, when he comes back from protocol, going to have some big games. Like Chicago's market is a lot bigger than Cleveland, so naturally he's going to get more votes. But I think in terms of value to his team, I mean, Garland is really
I agree
close.
with you value-wise, but who's been better
Zach
has to
Levine
be
has.
Zach, yeah.
But again, like Cleveland's next point guard is Kevin Pangos. Then Denzel Valentine is going to be before Rajon Rondo. So like the value of Darius Garland is so extreme. And for this Cavaliers team, they're not a player. Like, of course, Evan Mobley been fantastic. Jared Allen been awesome this year. But if it weren't for Darius Garland, would Jared Allen be in all-star conversations? No, he would not be. So offensively, I mean,
He's with Harden, yeah. He would be, yeah.
Kevin Love's been good too, though.
Yeah, yes. I mean, you need a playmaker to set a guy like Kevin Love up. So
Okay, that's fair.
Now that's been Rubio though.
Yeah,
off the bench.
yeah, but when Rubio is out these next few weeks, leading up to the All-Star game, it's gonna be more of Garland.
My next guard pick is LaMelo Ball. It could have been Darius Garland. It could have been either or. LaMelo is averaging 28 and 8. He's leading the Hornets in points, rebounds, assists, and steals. I mean, he's doing everything for the Charlotte Hornets right now. And naturally, he's going to get in the All-Star game because he's the most popular player of any of the guys that we've been talking about. DeMar, Levine, Garland, him and Trey are neck and neck, literally. He's even more likable and popular, I would say, than James Harden. Like, LaMelo Ball is a household superstar name. He's been efficient from the three. He's taken a lot of threes this year. That's why his field goal percentage is a bit lower than you'd like to see. He's at 43% around there right now. But LaMelo Ball, I think he's easily an all-star this season, and I have him in the game.
So actually, my next guy was Darius Garland. And, you know, for me, him and LaMelo are neck and neck. I think what puts me over for Darius Garland is obviously the efficiency and the fact that he doesn't have another guy or two guys that can create their own offense like LaMelo has. You know, LaMelo has Gordon Hayward, Terry Rozier. Darius Garland, like he said, he kind of does most of the bulk of the work for that offense. And then when he comes off, obviously Rubio does it. But for Darius Garland, he has to be that guy almost every night because this offense is very reliant on Darius Garland. And for the seasons, they're having a similar statistical season. You know, Darius Garland averaging 20 points, 7 assists. He's shooting 48% from the field, 38% from the three-point line, and 91% from the free throw line. He's efficient. He's improved as a playmaker. He's improved on defense. He's improved as a scorer, decision maker. He's improved in all facets of the game. So for me, I would lean just more towards Garland because of the responsibility and the fact that he's winning more. You know, he has his team as a danger. Cleveland is the dangerous team in part because of Darius Garland's jump, and they've been beating a lot of good teams. So for me, it's Garland.
You don't think LaMelo carries a similar responsibility?
I don't.
From the one, like, I agree with your points. It's the responsibility aspect.
I don't think scoring wise, no. I don't think he has to. I don't think so. I think with Miles Bridges taking that leap into a 20 points per game score, I think Terry Rozier being that guy, that go-to guy in the fourth for them, I think Gordon Hayward being there, he can also play, make, and score. I don't think he necessarily has to. He's going to get the counting numbers because he's just that great, but I don't think he necessarily has to be good or great every night. I think Garland has to be at least good to great every night because they're relying on him.
I understand that, but these Cavaliers players, a bunch of them are playing where we have Jared Allen shooting over 70% from the field. Again, he's a center, so that's going to be high. You have Evan Mobley, who's been efficient. You have Kevin Love, who of recent has been emerging on the scene as the Kevin Love, not the full Kevin Love that we were seeing in the past, but he's been averaging 20 points per game over these last 10 games. He's been spectacular. Yep. So I wouldn't say that it's just Garland and he like solely relies on him, given the fact that for LaMelo, he leads his team in points. He leads his team in almost every category outside of blocks. So in terms of responsibility, LaMelo does everything in that sense. He takes everything outside of blocks, and he leads his team in that sense. And I feel like what it'll ultimately come down to is popularity.
You just named all big men. For the most part, big men need a...
But Kevin Love has an outside game.
Big men need a great guard to score a lot of points.
Not
for the most part. Bigs like this, they need that.
But I think